Welcome to Present Poetry, a podcast where we sit back, relax, and enjoy some poets of the past and present. I'm your host, Erin Crittenden, and before we get started on this week's episode, I want to remind you that all of the material used in this podcast is either public domain or used with permission from the author or the author's estate. It's a fun time for all ages, so sit back, relax, and get ready to hear this week's featured poet. This week's featured poet is Loralee Clark. Loralee Clark has been nominated for 3 2026 Pushcart Prizes, and she has a 4th chapbook upcoming titled Neolithic Imaginings, Mythical Exploration of the Unknown, published by Kelsay Press. She resides in Virginia, and her Substack, which focuses on the process of creativity, is titled No Such Thing as Failure. She also has a website that she writes for, and I will link both of those in the description below. We are reading a few of the poems that she submitted to us through the form at presentpoetry.com. This poem is called Loch Aduin Crannog, Scotland. We peregrinate for days to reach the island, while henge ditches contain water, sanctifying cup and ring. Rain doesn't hold the same power as the loch. Our hearts uncertain and humble, we carry our drinking bowls, dirt and sweat staining them, readying them for scrying the sweet, salvific waters. After we settle, the food is prepared, eaten, the mead emptied from our bowls, replaced with river surface, our fingerprints, stars and moon, shining up from between our hands. Now is the moment our voices open. Bless our bodies. Use our eyes and minds to see into the wisdom of tomorrows, dancing between the water and moon. Later, as our eyes stare overhead, slipping with sleep, the stars plow promises of fertile harvest. Some of us offer Locke the hours of hands shaping clay, meditative mark making, fire's work of heat and hardening, letting the bowls slip away into the stream. Crickets and corncrakes lullaby us through the night. This poem is called Artistry. She used a wooden paddle to mix the wool and dye in 2 vats. When the water cooled, she took out handfuls of skeins, wrung them, twisted the slender filaments, twined them, worried the wool to cord before she hung them to dry. I tease apart those sour threads of my childhood, organic and rotted, foul with fester and shame, to understand how they have woven themselves into my body. Like a henna or fresh bruise, they claim me, the color of want, like longing. My thumb and forefinger are swollen, full of heat from the thread's friction. The fibers that cover me, that plait themselves within and through my bone, are slowly loosening, unraveling in sticky, hot patches. I count the strands tangled at my feet, dark, hot colors of all textures, a web, a morass of unmet need. She had woven the cords so tightly they are indistinguishable from the laces of her flesh. I rip them from my body, dig under my skin to the meat, the muscle, to displace this turpitude. I feel the shredding, a winnowing of my skin, heavy blanketing between her and me. Her loom is missing waft, has open space, leaves the blanket warped, easily stretched. I cover myself and am continually cold, exposed. Like 2 thin cords, I am pushed between her fingers, twisted together, pulled taut and wound carefully, precisely, into the shuttle like a small opening, an eye, but not an eye, a pointer on a compass, she the magnet. This poem is called The Path, Ways to Help a Creative, and is dedicated for Kara. Bring them water, apply the salve, cut the wood and double it, sort the laundry, excuse the piled dishes, their crusty excess. Make the tea, add the sugar, welcome the sunlight and pull the weeds, rub sore muscles, move the rock, fill the glass again and again. When they judge their work themselves, remind them it's not good or bad, it's just a part of the process. Remind them it's difficult forging your own path without a model or mentor. Weigh the grain, mill the flour, feed the starter, and begin again. Bring them water. This poem is called When Capitalism Says. When capitalism says more, they mean let credit cards, bills fall through your fingers into their laps, a promise of exchange for feeling better, more desirable, while clothing, cars, new updates amass behind you. I say fine, more real work. No metaphorical sleeves. Push your cotton ones up to your elbows, sun rising in your throat. Construct more wildlife bridges over roadways to decrease deer, raccoon, possum guts spilled slick on the tarmac, or simply tear up more roadways. They're in the middle of animals' habitats anyway. Plant over more lawns with native species, phlox, black-eyed Susans, goldenrod, vervain, and bergamot. Attract more native bees. Cordon off more areas for communal gardens. Eat more local veg. Grow more herbs to heal our wounded bodies and minds, dented and battered more and more. More? Yes, more than a living wage for bus drivers taking us safely home, weaving through intersections of exhaustion and grief of what could be but isn't yet. For janitors and other cleaners scrubbing our messes. For teachers shaping our children's futures. For fruit and veg harvesters making our lives literally livable, shelves stocked, pantries secure. More public transport, bike routes, and networks. More multi-generational housing to combat isolation. When capitalism says not enough, they mean to feel happy and whole, you need to squeeze your life force, shining with possibilities, into your job. Sacrifice sanity, family time, sleep. Not enough, I say. Right. Not enough advocation. Let's prepare to deal with the waves of oncoming diseases so family members and friends do not accumulate in hospitals and morgues again. Not enough pollution control to decrease smog, toxins, wildfires, floods. Not enough restorative justice practices. Give stolen land back to its original stewards, that it may regain equilibrium and flourish again. Not enough gun control to prevent children facing death, through curriculum of school shootings. Not enough wind and solar energies that do less harm to the earth and her inhabitants. Not enough, never enough. Embrace our rageful anger, mouths twisted, necks red and bellowing. Not enough making peace with our guilt and shame to motivate changes. We are still unable to eat money. Instead, extend ourselves to build relationships, build trust, focus on communal goals. When capitalism says buy, they mean buy what they are selling. Fear, scarcity, plastics, and fast fashion. I say yes, buy. Buy into the notion that enough exists. We have enough resources to house, feed, and care for everyone on this planet. It is only our economy and its poisoning mindset that hoards resources. How many properties are abandoned, unused? How much food is thrown away at the end of a regular business day, rather than shared, given, without a thought to coin or bill? Buy into the practice of mutual aid. What I have, you need. What I may need, you may give. Buy into beliefs that support equity, community, wholeness, and dignity. Procure more public spaces where communal gathering, without having to spend, exist. Where free mental health services are available. Invest and acquire a sense of place, a sense of belonging that celebrates humanity, possibility, depth, and honoring. At nightfall, when we roll down our sleeves, may we throw back capitalism's rhetoric of more, not enough, and buy at its bloated, greasy face. Reinvent the world we see into the world that can be. This poem is called Gravity. It's a surprise every time when I see a beetle, but it's really a brittle, curled leaf. A thin stick, but it's a dried worm. A bit of bumpy rock, but it's a tiny toad. And I wonder, are the seasons simply inhalations and exhalations? The pupils of my eyes black holes? Am I pulled forever in because even gravity cannot escape? Is it a flattened squirrel or a shred of tire on the road? Dung or a cicada casing? Flower petals or tiny, furry, white aphids of a sort? These ambiguities shouldn't surprise me. After all, the solar system is perhaps an atom, with its massive empty space and small orbiting particles. Like the sky and oceans of the earth, so vast and uninterrupted. The carbon in my body was formed in a star over billions of years ago. My organs are the earth's, lungs or rainforest. Isn't it all the same? I breathe out spring, aware, after all, that sometimes all of life is the same to the gravity of our eyes. Thank you for listening to this week's episode of the Present Poetry Podcast. If you enjoyed the show, feel free to like us, leave a review, or share us on social media. If you are a poet or you know someone who is, we would love to hear from you. You can reach out to us or submit your work through our website, which is www.present-poetry.com. Again, that is www.present-poetry.com. We can't wait to hear from you.